Hey, welcome in, guys. I'm so excited to have you in. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Exigent Sports. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass, and as always, we say it every time we start. We have a star-studded line for you. Tony Colson. That guy's going to come in, the gunslinger himself. He's coming in, and he's going to tell us a little about his 7vs7 program, all the kids that he's trained, and what it takes to bridge the gap between high school and college. Tony Colson once played ball at high school. He also played ball in college, and he made his way to the collegiate level. Great quarterback, great mentor, and we can't wait to speak with him. Also, we have an amazing committed player of the week here, Ava Maples from Maryville. She is on her way to college, and she's going to be swinging and playing a little bit of softball, and we're excited to meet her. I told her I was going to embarrass her, so guys, help me out here, all right? Help me out. I'm going to try to stay calm, but we're going to have fun, and we're going to connect with her. We have an extended version with Miss Maples today because we want to know as much as we can, and she can help you as a student athlete bridge the gap on what it takes to make it from high school to college because she's on her way. Congratulations to Miss Maples. And we also have a back-to-back state champion, coach from Oakland. Yes, Coach Creasy from Oakland decided to join us, and we're excited to talk to Coach Creasy. They do a fabulous job in Oakland. We've talked about them several times. They have a great program. They play football like it's college already. They have 3, 4, 5th strings that all are first stringers anywhere else in the world. Just a great program. Coach Creasy has turned that program around, doing some amazing things. He has a great tenure there, and I think we have him on the phone right now. Let's see if we have him. Coach Creasy, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Man, thank you so much for joining Exigent Sports. Congratulations on another championship.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach, now, I want you on the show because I need to know the secret sauce. I live in Oak Ridge. They joined 6A. Obviously, if done well, they would have played you in, I think, the 3rd round last year. But you have the secret sauce, Coach. Tell me, since 2018, I believe, was your first state championship in Oakland. Is that correct?
That is right. Yeah, we've been doing pretty well since 2018. We went there in the championship in 2016 and came up short. But yeah, we thought for sure we were going to run into Oak Ridge in the 3rd round, and thought for sure Maryville in the 4th round. That's kind of been pretty consistent over the last 10 or 12 years.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 5 or 6 rings you have so far?
I got 6 here at Oakland.
Wow. That is amazing, Coach. And you brought that program really far. And I've talked to Coach Henderson, and he told me you guys practice like it's a college. What is it that you do that's different, that separates you from the rest?
I'm not sure what everybody else has got going on. We kind of have it going old school, I guess you'd say. We're in full pads most of the week, and got a 2-hour, 2.5-hour practice. And, expect those guys to work out, the morning of. Later in the night, we expect them to watch film. So it kind of has a similar schedule, to a college. Guys have to still go to school, go to class, and all that stuff. So it kind of gets those guys prepared and ready if they do get a chance to go play college ball, that they've kind of been through the ringer a little bit. We tell our guys, we don't want you just to go to college. We want you to succeed in college. We want you to start while you're in college. We don't want to see you run around and have to transfer every 5 minutes. We want you to go there and be successful, help the team out, and be a key contributor early. And you should have an advantage because, we run our schedule similar to a college.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows. And I wonder if you have figured out a way to break the barrier and have 2 or 3 balls. I mean, because you have backups that can be starters anywhere in America.
we do have good depth, and that's what comes with having 2,000 students in your school, I guess. But it's kind of similar for everybody that we play against too, though. A lot of people. Right. That we play, they have good depth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, games are not won with your quarterbacks and your running backs. They got to be good. However, my experience with football as a coach, as a player, if you couldn't do it up front on both sides of the ball, you probably weren't going to win that game no matter the talent level, at the high school level, that is. Let's talk about your bigs, Coach.
Oh, no doubt about it. Luckily we've got really good coaches coaching our O-line, D-line, and, when you look at how far you can go in the playoffs and, in some of that inclement weather, when it's raining or cold outside, you better be able to have a group that can run the ball and, a defensive line that can help stop the run. And, we're not always the biggest guys out there. We're usually undersized, but we like guys that are pretty quick and athletic, so it's not what a lot of times you imagine as a big lineman, but they definitely are tough and they're definitely athletic, and the most important part is they go hard, and so you can't really coach that. You either go hard or you don't.
Right. And
if we got to convince you to go hard, we're probably playing the wrong guy.
Absolutely, Coach. I had many parents in my tenure coaching ask why do I have X, Y, and Z on the line. It's because they're quick, they go hard, and they're strong, and it's good luck blocking them or good luck trying to get past them. The biggest guys are not always the best people to put on the line. You have to have good footwork. So that's tremendous, Coach. How do you select your coaches? Coaches are important for you to gel, to make it all work. How does that process work for you?
Yeah, I think you got to have a little diversity on your coaching staff. A lot of times you're looking for the guy that, is very eager and wants to be the next head coach, So you always need a handful of those guys that are looking to move up, but then you're also looking at some guys that, maybe are experienced and happy just being a position coach and, treat their position like they're the head coach of their position, and they're not ego guys, and they're just satisfied, being a position coach. And so I think as far as coordinators, you really got to get somebody with a similar mentality, a similar work ethic than you, and, as far as philosophy, I pretty much have to be on the same page. So whenever I'm hiring a coordinator, I try to get a guy that resembles me and reminds me of myself, and I think that's key. But, yeah, like top to bottom, I think you got to have a lot of different kinds of guys, and most importantly, they got to be able to get along and work well together.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. I've had some tremendous teams, and I didn't pick the right coaches, and it didn't work out for the team, right?
Oh, no doubt. I can see that.
I mean, the best athletes you can find, but we didn't gel well as coaches, or maybe didn't have enough time to do so, and the season didn't go as we would expect it with the athletes. So that's pretty awesome, Coach. Do you take your kids to any camps?
A lot of times what we'll do is we'll sit down with those guys and we'll kind of map out where, we think they should go to camps. We try to encourage them to go to camps where they can get, in front of some college coaches. And some of the times it ends up being myself or another coach that end up taking a kid to camp.
Nice.
If parents aren't able to do it, or if we got a kid on the team that's going already and they can't get a ride for them, then we'll end up taking them ourselves. So we'll kind of map it out in the off season, and usually what we got going is, all right, go ahead and give me your dream school. All right, whatever your dream school, like if you had a choice anywhere, so boom, they choose, let's say Alabama. That's where they grew up. They always wanted to go play for Alabama, and then boom. All right, we'll go to Alabama and get coached up by those guys,
right?
And see what it takes to play in Alabama. Look at their starting lineup. Look at their size and their length. It's not always, the measurables, but at the same time, they're important at that level. And then let's go with a couple schools that we think, should be interested in you, or you should be interested in them. And then let's just go with a backup plan in case those two don't work. So we try to get everybody to go to 4 different camps. And
nice.
We've been lucky over the few years to have camps here in Murfreesboro, and we've hosted camps on our campus. So that made life a whole lot easier on some of those guys. But the big deal is we want them to get out there and get coached by other coaches and, see what it's like to, maybe get yelled at by another guy besides the guys that yell at them all the time. And, see if they can learn a few things, take a few things away from camp, and then, ultimately just showcase their talents to hopefully guys that are, giving out scholarship money.
I love it, Coach. I love that. I love your philosophy. I love the way you laid that out, and that's rare. You do have a lot of coaches taking kids to camps, but the way that you laid that out, what's your dream school? Go there, see what it's like, and then let's really position you to where you probably should be or someone should be looking at you. I love the philosophy, and obviously it works. Coach, how important is 7 versus 7 in today's world?
I think what you look at in a lot of sports is, things are starting to be year-round. So,
yeah.
You look at what they've done with travel baseball. Baseball used to just be a summer sport.
Right.
And then, of course, because it was in the summer, high school guys had to play in the spring.
Right.
But then now they got fall ball and travel ball, and it goes deep into, October. So guys are playing baseball all year. Basketball is similar with AAU.
Yep.
And so football, I think we needed something besides just the football season. And 7-on-7 came along, and I think it's pretty good, especially, I hate that, the linemen don't really get involved in it. But for the skill guys, I think the way the game's going with more and more passing, I think it's definitely help guys get a better skill set. And, that's not just the offensive side of the ball. A lot of times we'll go to a 7-on-7 tournament just to get better on defense.
Right.
Just to be able to see a quarterback back there that's got a great arm, that's got 4 seconds to find a receiver, that's like all day.
Right.
So it helps us on defense as well. So I think it's pretty cool because it allows you, a few more months of football where it doesn't really wear and tear on your body like the real game.
Indeed. And you think colleges are picking up on that? Are they gravitating more to 7 versus 7 as they pick the guys that they want?
I think if you look at other sports, I think there could be a movement. I don't know that they have done it yet, but I think there could be a movement because a lot of times what we're seeing in certain sports like soccer and volleyball, the college guys are going to those kind of travel tournaments or club sports instead of the high school sports because they can, catch 20 games in one day instead of just 1 or 2. So, if that trend keeps going, I could see colleges, paying more attention to 7-on-7.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Big deal right now. The transfer portal is live for high school. At least you have 1 year in Tennessee that you're free as a bird to go wherever you want. They also have NIL. Coach, I'm pretty sure we're a little old school, but we have to catch up with the times. Where are you as far as NIL? Not your school, not what you're doing. How do you feel about it as a whole?
Well, I think if you're using somebody's name, image, or likeness, that person should benefit from it. I never thought we'd see it in high school. And, it's been passed a few years ago in Tennessee, and we don't see, I don't really see the NIL around our parts. I could see where it would be beneficial if somebody was able to get it going at their school or what have you. But ultimately, it's one of those deals where it'd be hard to argue against, and I guess that's why it's probably been passed. And then as far as the transfer portal, that's been a year where you kind of have the ability to transfer where you want, as long as there are certain reasons why you're transferring. But in our school system, you still have to live in our zone. You can't be an out-of-county guy, stuff like that. So it's not a completely one-time transfer and the wild, wild west as of yet. But that, things are always a-changing and things trickle down from college. We have a concussion policy that trickled down from the NFL to college. We have a practice restrictions that pass down from the NFL and college to us.
Yeah.
So all these other things, good and bad, are trickling down, and so you just never know one year to the next what's going to happen at the high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, National Signing Day, did you have anybody, how many did you have to sign? I know you had some at least. Did you have anybody sign today?
Yeah, so we had 3 in the early signing period. 3 guys, one went to MTSU, one went to Ole Miss, that had a great year, by the way, and then one stayed in-state at Tennessee, and we love guys that are able to stay in-state. And then this signing period, we had 3 more. One kid ended up signing at Tusculum,
nice.
In East Tennessee. Another kid signed at Kentucky Wesleyan. And then we had a big offensive lineman that signed with UT Martin.
Nice.
So we've had 6 so far, and we're expecting about 4 or 5 more that are going to go to some smaller schools, maybe NAIA or junior colleges, that feel like they've been under-recruited a little bit. And, those smaller schools kind of see what's left over after these 2 signing days, and then they get real busy this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Yeah, and you're right. It does get busy around this type of year, and some kids do get under-recruited, but with the transfer portal in college, we know they can move forward. Coach, when I talked to you over the phone, I told you, hey, this show is to help parents and the student athletes bridge the gap on what it takes to make it from high school to college. So before I get off here and take my break, my final question for you is, what does it take to bridge the gap from high school to college?
If I could give any advice, I think the first thing I'd say is, they're giving out academic scholarships all the time. A parent can't really determine whether the kid's going to be 6 foot or 6'6".
Right.
If you could, a lot of people would push the 6'6" button.
Right.
You can't always decide how fast your kid's going to run, but you can push your kid to get good grades and to do well in school and to make a really good grade on the ACT or the SAT, because they're giving money away for that all the time. And a lot of our guys may get partial scholarships.
Yeah.
If they get a partial scholarship and then they tie that in with some financial aid, quite a few of our guys are getting some financial aid when they go to school. And then you throw academic money on top of it.
Right.
Well, there's your money that you've been wanting to, grab. So ultimately, we've got some guys that may go to Cumberland University in Lebanon and end up getting a check written to them for a few $1,000s every semester, or they may go somewhere else like UT Chattanooga, and they may only get a few $1,000s for being on their roster.
Right.
So, that the money stuff can equal itself out. I think the biggest thing is when parents are looking for the kids to go to college, they need to kind of check out rosters of potential colleges that they're going to, see what they're graduating, see what they've lost in the portal, see what kind of openings there are and opportunities there are for the kids to play. But the biggest thing is you got to find a good fit. You got to find a good fit for your kid, where they're going to be happy, where they're going to be able to lay their head down at night, feel safe, play for the guy that's going to be there for 4 years. There's a lot that goes in to making a decision on college, but, your show's doing a great job of talking about how to get your kids exposure, how to get eyes on your kid while they're, just a sophomore or junior in high school.
Right.
And get their name out there and get them on a platform where they can get recruited. Because it's a competition. You're not just competing against everybody in your town or even in the state of Tennessee.
Right.
It's worldwide now. So you got to stand out amongst a worldwide clientele.
Absolutely. Perfectly said, and I totally agree with that. I tell kids here all the time, don't be better than everybody at your practice or in your city and the state. You have to do it worldwide. Coach, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to join me here on Exigent Sports. Hopefully we can connect soon and do this again. You gave me some valid information that that our followers would need to hear, and you do a great job with your program. So I'll continue to follow you. I'll continue to give you shout-outs, and good luck moving forward, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that was Coach Kevin Creasy out there at Oakland, he has a program. Obviously, the way he speaks, you know he has a great program. We have Miss Maples in the studio. She's coming up next, but you hang tight. We'll be right back.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear, sharp casual looks, ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammers, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammers Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammers today.
Many of our neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or hurt because they don't have insurance and can't afford medical care. The free medical clinic takes that fear away. FMC ensures that you never have to worry about your medical care so you can concentrate on your job, education, and family life. Get your medical care today at no charge at fmcor.org. fmcor.org.
Everywhere you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, let's go. Miss Ava Maples is in the building, guys. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm blessed, highly favored. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for having you. You know, I seen something on one of the social media platforms. You were swinging a bat. And I was like, I feel so sorry for that softball you was hitting. I mean, he was really swinging it. So how long have you been into sports?
For sports, ever since I was like out of the womb, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sports family?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
What's your favorite sport?
I like football, but softball, girls-wise.
Yeah. Do you play 7 vs. 7?
No, I don't.
You don't play the girls' flag football? Isn't that like a state championship thing now?
Well, Maryville doesn't have one yet.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, I know.
Rebels, come on. Are you serious? Like, you're like the biggest known football program. If you need me to coach it, just call me. I'll come out there. You let them know. I'll come coach the girls. We'll do that. When we're going to state. We'll bring another state championship back to Maryville. So hire me. I'll get those girls right. So that's pretty cool. So I asked you what's your favorite sport, because growing up for me, basketball was my favorite sport. A million times better than football. But basketball was my favorite sport. Did you play any other sports?
Yeah, I played basketball.
Yeah. You dunking?
No.
Between the legs?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
When did you cut basketball
off? Freshman year. Yeah.
Why?
I decided that I really wanted to like work all the time in softball, and that softball was my life, basically.
Yeah, that's what it takes, a lot of work. And we heard Coach Creasy say that, you know, now they have year-round, they have travel ball and things of that nature. Was you on one of those travel teams?
Yes, I'm on a national travel ball team, yeah.
So you going to get recognized?
Yeah.
Do you think that helped you get the offers that you had?
I think it did a lot, just them coming and being able to watch during the games and, like, see how I am when I mess up and, like, outside of the game, walking with my mom and talking to her. So, yeah.
Yeah. They got to gauge you and see how your body language was and all the things, right? And we talk about this a lot. You know, if you want to, you have to get on a real circuit to really be seen. What's the farthest travel you've made?
I guess California and Colorado, yeah.
Nice. Who's the hardest competition you face?
Oh, probably in my Future Stars game, I faced a SEC commit pitcher. She's throwing it.
Okay. Yeah. So she's an SEC commit for a reason. Yeah, no doubt. So that's when you find out.
Yeah.
You know, you don't find that out like in high school. You really have to gauge the world. So how often do you train?
Literally every day except for the weekends. I'm doing something in softball, whether it's like agility, working out, or hitting, throwing, something every day.
Nice. What brought the love of the game to you?
Definitely whenever I was younger, I was watching the College World Series one year, and Odyssey Alexander that played at JMU, she was a pitcher. This girl bunted the ball, and she went and picked up the bunt and dove and tagged the girl out at home. And it was like a game-winning thing. It was crazy. And I was like, yeah, I want to be on the
That cut the lights on for you.
Yeah.
This is it. I can do that.
Yeah.
So what positions do you play?
I can play everywhere except for pitcher and catcher, really. So
first base,
yeah,
shortstop, third base,
outfield,
all the things.
Yeah.
What about your batting?
I'm a right-handed power hitter, so normally just hit doubles.
Yeah. So you're probably what, clean up?
Yeah.
How long have you been clean up? How many years have you been the cleanup?
I don't really know. Probably a few years, maybe.
Yeah. But you wasn't always a cleanup?
No, whenever I was younger, I was like first or second batter.
Okay. Yeah, well, hey. So are you fast?
Yeah, I'm pretty fast, yeah.
Okay, because first or second, they normally want you to be fast.
Yes, yeah.
So you have speed, you have power, you have agility, infield, outfield skills, ready to go.
Yep.
What's your coach's name?
Michael Spain.
Coach Spain.
Yeah.
He messaged me when he found out you was coming on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. I thought he was going to show up today.
Oh.
Yeah. Coach Spain, if you're out there watching, I know you are. Coach Spain, man, thank you so much for what you do. I can't wait to get you back here in the studio. Let's get you in the studio and let's talk a little bit of ball, man, because Coach Spain does a great job. I'm glad he's out there in Maryville. How long has he been there now?
This is his first year.
First year in Maryville? Yeah. He said, I'm in Maryville now. And I was like, huh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that's great. So how important is championships at a high school level for students looking to get accepted at the next level?
I'd say it's pretty big. I mean, I haven't yet to be able to compete in a championship, but this year we will probably.
Do you think it's more important to win a state championship than it is to do travel ball?
I think travel ball is mostly where it's at, honestly, because the college coaches are playing their season during ours, so they don't really get to watch us in person. So travel ball, they're there every weekend.
And I'm sorry for calling yours travel ball. There's travel teams, and there's AAU, and there's national level teams. Excuse me.
Oh, no, it's okay.
You're definitely national level. I apologize, because there's a difference, and you guys need to know the difference, right? You're here in basketball. That term phrase AAU used a lot, and they play in Knoxville, Alcoa. They might make it to Nashville, little Lenoir City. That's not AAU basketball. That's not AAU. So national level is on your way to California, on your way to Colorado. Are you taking planes or you driving?
We fly. Yeah.
What is your ultimate goal for yourself?
For myself, definitely as a senior this year, I want to help carry the team to state tournament and hopefully win the state tournament.
Yes.
And that's really all that matters to me this year, because I'll be the only one in my family with out-of-state rings. So.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
Yeah.
Coach Spain, let's go now. We need that. Let's go. I love that. I love that a lot. NILs is talked about a lot at the high school level. Obviously, it's big at the collegiate level. Yeah. What is your feelings on NIL?
I guess this is like, I like it in some stuff, but and you end up turning like Texas Tech and softball and having all the top players with your NIL money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they came up, didn't they?
Yeah,
overnight.
They did. I know. As soon as the transfer portal opened, I was like, oh, Lord, here we go.
Overnight. Well, Murray State is a good land for you. If you had an offer at Murray State, obviously you had other offers as well. Mm-hmm. How did you decide to pick Murray State?
I was going to a camp that Coach Spain sent me to, and I just went into it with an open mind because they have a lot of like things that he does the same way they do. Mm-hmm. And so when I stepped on campus and shook the head coach's hand, I was like, oh yeah, I got to do whatever it takes to get an offer that day. And so just like during the camp, being with the college girls, they were just so nice, and then when I stepped in on campus at my visit, I was like, oh yeah, this is home.
Yeah. Well, you don't get an offer at Murray State without good grades.
Oh yeah.
What's your GPA?
I have a 3.8.
Let's go. Let's go. That's what we want to hear. Those grades are obviously very important,
yes,
right? Yeah. I don't care what you're doing. Make sure you keep those grades up, even at Murray State, right? Because there's a plan after ball. You know, I don't care how great anybody is, Michael Jordan, you name them. Yeah. It's going to end. Mm-hmm. What's next after ball?
I'm hoping to go into sports communications and be like an ESPN interviewer, like interviewing the people after the football games and stuff like that.
Sideline reporter, or maybe a little analyst?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I
see you watching me when I was talking to Coach Creasy. You was getting ideas, wasn't you? This is it for you, right?
Yeah.
Sports is it. Mm-hmm. So let me tell you, and I'm glad you said that. So I've talked to a lot of professional coaches. Mm-hmm. Right, college coaches, you know, and the thing that grasps me is that there's so many different jobs at the professional level. Yeah. So you can be a professional in anything you do, right, and make good money. Rub elbows with the people that you want to rub elbows with. Take care of yourself and your family. I think that's great. And if you ever want to be my co-host, you be my co-host. Matter of fact, before you go to school in the summer, let's pick a couple weeks out that you be my co-host. I'll go over there. We have a set called The Bench. Okay. I don't have a bench today because it's a special day, right? I will go to the bench, and I will let you pick a seat, and you host a show, and I'll be over there doing my thing. Would you do that?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Get your little experience, put it on your resume.
Yep.
You can send out film. Say, just like, speaking of film, did you send out film to different colleges?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. It did help a lot. Whenever I would go to their camps, they would notice because of my film that it was me. So, yeah, it helped a lot.
I love it. So what would you tell a young student athlete that's trying to bridge the gap from high school to college? What does it take?
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of not going out with your friends and just going to the cage and getting extra reps in. It takes a lot of people doubting you and saying that like it's not gonna be worth it or you're not gonna be able to make it to the next level, and just like proving them wrong and never doubting yourself and just holding the confidence that you need.
I've had a lot of successful people sit in that chair right there from high school that said not hanging out with your friends, getting that extra swing in, extra pass in, or what have you. Those people are still doing great at the collegiate level. Yeah. You keep that mindset, I think you're on your way. What do you want to tell your fans at home? Look right there in that camera and tell them what you want to say.
Well, I love you guys.
Go Rebels.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that is awesome. Thank you again so much for showing up. You are a gem and a joy, and I wish you nothing but the best success. Obviously, I'll be here to support you anytime you need, and let's schedule to get you on here so you can host Exigent Sports and put that on your resume.
Okay, I
promise?
will. Yes, I promise.
Let's go, guys. You hang tight, man. I have a legend, a former professional. This guy can sling the ball. I think he's like 85 years old, and he still throws the ball like he's 15. Tony Colson coming up next, guys. We'll be right back.
Many of our neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or hurt because they don't have insurance and can't afford medical care. The free medical clinic takes that fear away. FMC ensures that you never have to worry about your medical care so you can concentrate on your job, education, and family life. Get your medical care today at no charge at fmcor.org. fmcor.org.
Hey, East Tennessee, ready to save big? It's all at Hammer's Dry Goods. For over 70 years, we've been your hometown store for famous brand men's and ladies' clothing at rock-bottom prices. Need rugged workwear? Sharp casual looks? Ladies' game day gear? We've got it all, and it's priced to move. And when you shop Hammer's, you keep your money local, supporting our schools, our students, and our community. Hammer's Dry Goods. Tradition, value, hometown pride, and savings you can feel. Get to Hammer's today.
Everywhere you look, you can find unexpected things that make you smile. Little reminders to care for your heart. At Covenant Health, we bring more heart to more places. That means more locations, advanced treatments, and expert physicians. Because we know your heart beats for more than just you. It beats for the people, moments, and dreams that matter most. More heart in more places for you. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
The free medical clinic is your clinic. You may not need us today, but if you ever lose your job or benefits, FMC exists to serve you during your time of need. If you know someone who might need no-charge medical care, or if you need care, go to fmcor.org. Go to fmcor.org.
Welcome back to Exigent Sports, guys. I'm your host, Coach DJ Pendergrass. Hey, thank you guys for joining. All the new people that's just joining this. We're here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Star-studded show, bringing in you the best coaches, players, athletes, you name it. We're going to bring them in, and we're going to give insight of what it takes to bridge the gap from one level to the next. So while you're here, go ahead and on your devices, go ahead and share, make someone aware, and let them know that we're here, right now on set. 7 vs. 7 gunslinger himself, Tony Colson. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Thank you so much for joining the show, man.
Yes, sir. Second time on, man.
Absolutely. Well, the rest of the show is yours, man.
All right.
The rest of the show is yours.
Right.
So the first thing I want to ask you, I want to take it all the way back to your high school days. We've talked about it before, okay. But I want to take it back to your high school days. How did you become the quarterback?
By the guy graduating and Scotty Harrell was my quarterback, man. And, back in the day, it was just, there wasn't transferring and people coming in and all that stuff. And if there was, they'd probably been looking at Clinton and been like, they don't have anybody coming up,
right.
And they just somebody to probably come and try to take the job. But I always tell people puberty played a funny joke on me, man. I was 5'9" my sophomore year of high school. I remember coming in during the summer, during training, Coach Gaylor had us out there doing training.
Yeah.
And I hit 6'2" between my sophomore and junior year, man. So I grew that 4 to 5 inches, over the summer, and just became the guy. I was a JV quarterback, and all that good stuff. But to actually get to play varsity, if I'd have stayed little, they'd just put somebody else back. Probably put Jermaine at quarterback and let him do his thing. I was lucky enough to grow enough to big enough to be able to throw it to him and hand it off to those other guys. And but yeah, just luck of the draw, really, man. Nobody ever expected me to be much, and it just happened. So
Little League, you played at Claxton?
Yeah, played at Claxton.
You was quarterback there?
Yeah, played quarterback there. Went to Oak Ridge for 8th grade football.
Okay.
Got to get coached by Coach Eric Thomas. You may know Eric Thomas.
I know Coach Thomas.
In Quayu. You know, they coached me there, and then high school, freshman year at Clinton, and from then on it was just trying to figure it out and have some fun with it and win some games.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that led you to get an opportunity to play at the collegiate level.
Yeah. How
did that process work for you?
It was good, man. Had a few offers. Tennessee Tech was an offer, and I always tell the story. I just keep it real, man. I had a girlfriend in high school, and I always tell these boys, nowadays, make decisions for you, and my girlfriend's older sister, when I was in high school, was at Tennessee Tech. And I was like, well, heck, I'll go to Tennessee Tech. You'll come to Tennessee Tech. Well, I'll be at Tennessee Tech. We'll have a blast, So I turned down the Eastern Kentucky opportunity. That was probably the better opportunity for me as a football player. But I went to Tennessee Tech straight out of high school on a scholarship. Of course, young fellas don't do anything for your girlfriends if it's meant to be. They'll follow you. They'll go anywhere you need, but life will happen the way it's supposed to work. And for me, of course, she didn't come to Tennessee Tech. We didn't even last that long, But it's just one of those things. I ended up there. I was there for 3 semesters, and I always tell everybody I made a few mistakes and wasn't in class like I needed to be, wasn't doing the things I needed to do. I was a starting quarterback.
Right.
I won the starting job. The spring after my freshman year over all the older guys. I was a redshirt freshman, going to be the man, and just didn't have the mentality of what the man needs to be, So they sent me home. Ended up getting an opportunity at Tusculum College. And to be honest, that's probably the best opportunity. We had a heck of a football program. Got a former NFL Canadian League Hall of Famer offense coordinator guy. Played for Coach Frankie DeBusk. Wow. Had some talent. And we were 4 wide, shotgun, spread it.
Oh wow.
Throw the ball every play.
Yeah.
And so for me, life happened the way it needed to happen. Put me in the position I need to be in to get that opportunity for success.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a son at Tusculum right now, and they're not good.
Yeah, I know, man. I was there. We went 9-2 my junior year and won the first conference championship, and then they've had a few good years here and there. I think 2 or 3 years later they had a big season, but they haven't had. They've not been able to put the offense and defense together at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And they still play on grass fields.
Really? Okay.
They still play on grass.
It's a nice field up there, though.
Yeah,
they got a nice little stadium for D2 football.
Beautiful. Yeah. My son was like, they still have grass fields.
Oh yeah, I know, right? They got the indoor turf facility though. They still got that big indoor.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But
they do.
It's probably not been upgraded much, and it's 25 years later. I hate to say that, golly, life's flying by, man. But like you said, I can still rip it, baby.
Yes, you can. I posted a video, guys. If you see DJ Pendergrass on my Facebook, it's an open page. You can go look at it. I shared a video of Tony slinging that ball. He probably threw it a good 40 to 60 yards. Just like that.
This is about 40, 45. We're playing 7-on-7, so you can't exaggerate too far.
We didn't play the whole field, did we?
No, it was 40 in or 50 in, something like that.
He threw about 60 yards. I'll tell you, it was fun. It was fun.
They put a good thing together, man. I wish we'd kept that thing rolling.
Well, you have a good thing going, man. You have your 7x7 Gunslinger League.
Yeah.
Helping the youth bridge the gap. Whether they're going from 5th grade to 6th grade or 8th grade on to the high school level, man. Yeah. What made you start the 7x7 League?
Man, what really got me started on the 7-on-7 league is I coached a travel team. Everybody's into travel 7-on-7, right?
Yeah.
So I had a quarterback and a quarterback family that was all about doing whatever needed to be done. Mm-hmm. And, that's the way it is. The quarterback dad in 7-on-7 is the guy that has to put it together most of the time.
Right.
And I always tell them, the quarterback dad, you're going to have to pay it. You're going to have to help them out. You're going to have to get them together, pick them up for practice. But that's part of it. Somebody's got to put it all together. And, they put the team together. I told the kid, I was training him at the time. He was an 8th grader, Sam Valton. Kid actually was state championship quarterback at Alcoa.
Okay.
Went to Louisville. Was at Louisville for some years and just graduated. So he's doing really good. But
nice.
His dad said they'd put a team together. I told the boy, I was like, man, you get the players. I'll coach the team. And we went and. Man, we had a blast. I joke with all these 7-on-7 coaches now. We went to 6 tournaments, won first place, 5 out of 6 tournaments.
Wow.
Qualified for the Pylon National Championships and the what's the big IMG? The IMG the championship. So we were the only team ever to qualify for both those at the time. Pylon's still pretty big. I don't think IMG really does their thing anymore.
Yeah, Pylon's big.
But we went to Dallas and won the actual national championship.
Wow.
Still the only 7-on-7 team in Tennessee ever to win the national championship. So 7-on-7 season, good luck to all you other guys that got all those great teams and doing all that big stuff, but we're still the only team to ever win this thing. So anyways, it's a little competitive out there sometimes.
I don't think they have the insight. You heard me talking to Miss Maples that was sitting in the chair, and there's a AAU, there's a travel ball, there's 7-versus-7 local, and then there's a way that you can go to Pylon.
Yeah.
How did you find those connections to get qualified to even play on a Pylon?
Yeah, back in the day, before we started the league and stuff, they didn't really have leagues. There were no 7-on-7 leagues. I think there was one in Texas I saw back 7-8 years ago that was doing it, but mostly it was tournaments. And then the next level of the tournaments was you found tournaments that would lead to some other qualifier, So we happened to, I don't think we even knew what they were because we were just signing up for local, 7-on-7 tournaments within 4 to 5 hours away.
Right.
I think the one up in Kentucky we went to, and that was the one that happened to be a Pylon qualifier.
Wow.
And so we won it. That set us up for that one. I think one in Atlanta, Atlanta always has some big tournaments. We ended up winning one of those, and that was the IMG qualifier. But, but that's why I started the 7-on-7 league, though, because after we won that championship, all my little quarterbacks are like, Coach, I want to play 7-on-7. And I'm looking at them like, first off, I can't afford 2, 3 7-on-7 teams.
Right.
And then as a quarterback coach, when I pick 2 kids to play on my 7-on-7 team and don't pick any of the other ones, people are going to be mad.
Yeah.
Why are you not picking us? Why, and then you pick age groups and stuff. So I told a lot of my kids, I said, hey, if I can get you guys to put a team together, I'll start a league.
Right.
And then everybody will get to play 7-on-7.
Right.
It may not be on the national stage, but if we build it big enough, we'll get people from outside of Knoxville to come play with us.
And you've done that.
And that's been the blessing. That's really helped this year. So, a lot of guys with the travel stuff, I kind of picked a plan. They look for the top 15% of kids to join their travel team, go do all the travel. And I said, you know what? The game is for this. I'm going to take the other 85% and build something for them, and we're going to make something local here in Knoxville. We're going to be credible with it. It's not going to be a lot of that travel stuff. It turns into the fighting and all the negative stuff nobody wants their kids to be part of. So we've eliminated all that.
Nice.
And going into this year, man, it's the biggest season we've ever had. Last year we had 38 teams signed up, which was the biggest we had ever had. We kind of got stuck at 35 to 40-ish there for about 3 years because other people would try to do their own thing and kind of keep it. So we'd pick up new teams and lose a few. But this year, man, we've got, I think, 63 teams signed up. And it's the most we've ever had. We've got like 8 teams from Kentucky. Yeah. A couple of middle Tennessee teams. So, people are hearing about it. And, the coaches and the refs and all those guys that really hold it together are keeping it, having some integrity to how we play it, and people are seeing it, and they're sending their kids out.
Yeah, you do a good thing. Like, I came and I watched, and you allowed me to come out and do some filming.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was happy to have you.
The coolest thing about it was not only did I get East Tennessee teams, it was Middle Tennessee, Kentucky was team from North Carolina. Yeah. Nobody comes from North Carolina to lose, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
They lost.
Yeah, I know, they did. Asheville Extreme, they were a good team, though.
They was really good. Good quarterback.
Big lefty.
Yeah, but it shows, what work that you put in and the connections that you have been able to make to do that. 7-versus-7 is bigger than what it used to be.
Oh, it's huge.
And I seen a kid recently. He's a sophomore, rising junior, Oak Ridge High School. He went to a NPA, one of those 7-versus-7s. Came home a few days later, and then he has 3 college offers. Yeah. Is that the way it's rolling for the athletic kids now?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a skill kid, why not play? People have positive and negatives to it, but there's no negative to get out there running routes, working against defenses, throwing against coverage, defending guys. The only negative you can get out of it is if you're out there, fighting and getting hurt, to be honest with you. Work's work, so, there's ways to do it, and I think in the big scheme of things, if you do get on that stage, like the young lady said earlier, if you get on those big stages, coaches, people say, you're not going to get recruited. You go make some big plays in 7-on-7. Maybe they don't offer you a scholarship, but if there are coaches there, maybe they see you and like, hey, what's that kid's name? And then they go to Twitter, and they look for your highlight film, and they pull it up like, man, he's doing this on Friday nights too. Hey, let me give him a call. Yeah. One of the things I added, all the people as a quarterback guy, as a former coach and talking to all my other coaches, they always say, I hate 7-on-7 for my quarterbacks. And so one thing we added, and you saw that last year probably, is I've been trying to fiddle with some ways to make the 7-on-7 game a little more realistic for the quarterback guys, because everybody hates they take it off the tee, they stand there, and they just throw little 3-yard strikes across the middle. Yeah. And so we added that rusher element. And nobody in the country does anything like this, I don't think. And I think it's transcended our league. A lot of guys didn't like it at first because it's harder. You know, the quarterback's throwing on the run. He's got pressure, hand in his face. He's got 3 seconds with no pressure and 3 seconds with it. And that's basically like real football. Yeah. And so I'm excited just to see the new teams and just to continue that. This is our 3rd year actually implementing that part of it. The young kids I don't have do the rush early in the season. I let them go the first half of the season without it. And then after that, it's like, all right, now, now it's game time. We're going to let them come out and, make you run and throw on the run and just have some fun with it, man, learn a little bit.
Are you still doing sign-ups?
Actually, week 1 is this upcoming week. Got snowed out last week or whatnot. But the one thing that I do with the league is I do a thing kind of like non-league teams. So we have our league teams, we have the 60, 62, 63 teams in the league. And then, teams like the Rising Stars, Jabari Davis runs that team. They do tournaments, but when they don't have a tournament, he calls, hey, Tom, we want to get in, and I'll plug them in, Gotcha. So we have a handful of teams that can't make it. Some teams are a little farther away. I say, Tom, we can't make it 8 weeks in a row, man, but can we come play 3 or 4 weeks during your season? And depending on what style of team they are, I'll kind of give them a little gauntlet of our best teams, our intermediate teams or whatever, and let them come in and play where they can get something out of it, enjoy it and, get what they're looking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Right. So I got a 7-versus-7 team today. Okay. And I just want to just play a few games. Could I call you now and be like, hey, can I find a spot? Is it too late for that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could definitely hit me up. It wouldn't be for week 1, but normally I tell guys I make the schedule on Thursdays every week. And the reason I do that is because of things like that. Somebody calls me on Tuesday, hey, coach, we don't have any tournaments. We're trying to get a game. Okay, I'll plug you in. Now this year with as many teams as we have, we only have room for maybe 2 to 4 teams extra each week because of field time. The refs don't want to be there all day long. We could play till 8 p.m. But I try to get the refs out 4:30. So I've got room for 2 to 4 teams each week that if they want to throw something together and say, hey, we want to come play 2 or 3 Sundays, give me a call, hit me up on social media somewhere, and just say, hey, and I'll do my best to accommodate and make it happen. And
want to do that. Tennessee Jays, y'all want to come back one time? Yeah. Join the gunslinger? I mean, this guy's
come out and get it.
He's played some levels, man. That'd be good. Now, how many age groups you have?
That's been the most fun part about the league and what's helped it grow the most. When we started, it was 8th and 9th, like 14U in high school, and that was for about the first 2 or 3 years. We're going on like year 8, I think, this year. Then we went, and I don't do ages anymore, 14, because we've gotten rid of the travel teams for the most part. The travel teams around here gave us a lot of trouble. All they wanted to do is fight and argue and all that. So thank God you guys have signed up and the league's grown, because now some of those guys, and I'll just be honest, I won't name them on here just to be professional, but some guys could call me and be like, Tom, I'll pay you $5,000 to let us play this week. And I'd be like, sorry, man, can't do it. Just they don't respect the game, and so a lot of the teams we have, that's what I appreciate about them the most. I can finally leave the stadium. We're using 3 locations this weekend. We got Clinton, Anderson County, and Bearden. Back in the day, we could not do that because the 2 that I weren't at, it would be going chaotic, So now I can leave and go get a burger, a sandwich somewhere, and just be like, hey, is everything good, and just come back and it's good. But so the age groups, we went to just grades. And it makes that easier. We've never really had too many teams want to cheat, but you know how people want to play up and down. So I just put grades out there because I can walk out on any field and most of the kids and just be like, hey, what grade's that dude in? And most of the kids around here be like, hey, he's an 8th grader, or something. Everybody kind of knows. But when it's ages, it's like he was born February 17th. I'm like, hold on, time out. Let me start calculating. It makes it hard on me. So we went 6th, 7th grade, 8th, 9th grade, and then high school. 2 years ago, we added a 4th, 5th grade division. And that division's got about 17 teams in it this year. We had about 8 the first year. We had 11 last year. Now we got 17 this year. Wow. And my son is a 2nd grader out at Concord Christian, actually. And I know one of your boys was out there for a while.
I had a couple
for a minute.
Boys out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's out there, and I coach 2nd grade flag football, and probably the most stressful coaching job I've ever had in my life. But we had some fun with it. And I saw how they did it last year. They were able to do it. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have them playing it, instead of going and playing flag somewhere, I'm just going to make it division. So this year we've got our first year for second and third grade, and we're just calling it the rookie division. And we're going to have a few little rules that are a little different that can fit and accommodate them, and to make it where they can do their thing. But we got 5 or 6 teams in the league this year for that division, and I think it's going to be a success. They're going to have fun with it, and then we'll grow it from there.
It's going to grow. It's definitely going to grow. If you cook food at McDonald's, they're going to come.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Right, and that's what you're doing. You're cooking food for the masses, and they're coming.
Yeah.
You have a great program. You run it consistently, and you run it with integrity. Right,
and that's the biggest word, I think.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that, because that's the one thing we've always tried to do. With my quarterback training, with the 7-on-7 league, with my Gunslinger Challenge, I think the integrity part of just trying to do it right. It runs some people off because they just want to do it their way, but the 85%,
yes,
they want that, and I believe that's why everything I've tried to come up with has had its chance to grow and develop into what it has become, I guess.
Absolutely. And you talked about kids you coach, or train.
Yeah.
You've been training for how long now?
Man, just here in Knoxville, probably the last 14 years, since 2011.
Wow.
I started in 2007 when I was playing arena football down in Huntsville, trying to fiddle with it, trying to figure out how my processes. But yeah, here in Knoxville since I came back home since 2011. So it's about 14 years, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm blessed, man, on that end, because that was grind. Those first 3 to 4 years was, you get a couple clients. I've never advertised. I've never gotten anybody's DMs. I've never called quarterback kids that train with other quarterback coaches and said, hey, come train with me because I need clients. I've never went there, So everything I get is from kids seeing me, seeing my kids. Hey, where's your kid train? He trains with Tony.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've grown it. It's organic. And so the people that come to me, generally come because they know they're going to get a product, and just like everything else, that's what sold me, since I got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's a Gunslinger Challenge, man? What is a Gunslinger Challenge? Tell me what that is. And I know you go to Dallas almost every year now for probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
About 6 years since 2020, 2021.
Yeah, and you do a great thing out there. You get the masses out. You got a lot of people from different states coming out.
Yeah.
What is the Gunslinger Challenge? Where did it come from, and how's it going?
Yeah, so the Gunslinger Challenge is something I used to help other guys do camps, and I'd just come in and do a quarterback job. I'd come in and be the quarterback guy and run them, and just to be honest, a lot of those guys I helped weren't very organized and never gave the quarterbacks as much work. It always turned into the skill positions competing, but the quarterback just take a snap, throw. And I was like, you know what, I can do something that can be focused quarterback, focus driven on the quarterback and put it together. So I started the Gunslinger Challenge in 2015, I think. We're on year 13, I think, or so on this thing. It's been a long time.
Wow.
I started, just wanted to make a fair competition. I wanted to make something that I could have won if I was good enough, because you know how this stuff is. If you don't have a big name or big school or something like that, you're not going to go to these camps and outperform these other guys that, he's got 20 offers, you don't. Mm-hmm. So I created a scoring system in the Gunslinger Challenge, and that's why people show up, because you can have a ninth grader or whatever division, 3rd through 12th grade quarterback, so whatever division you're in, you can have a young guy in the division with no offers playing on an average school that can come in and compete, and it's all about what they do that day. And if they score enough points, they win. And it's not us coming together saying, hey, who do you like today? I think he's the guy, man. That's one of the dudes I train. Let's put him up there. Let's let him be second place at least, keep him in the thing. It's really just like I pull the Google sheet up, boom, it tallies the scores. I have scorekeepers for every line, and the kids do throws and competition. The way we break it down is first quarter straight drops, no pressure, no nothing. Second quarter is all play action. I come up with as many different throws and everything I can come up with. Third quarter's escapes, movements in and out of the pocket. And then the fourth quarter's a mixture. And we score all 4 quarters, and we give kids opportunity. The highest performers get the opportunity to go to the finals. And in the finals, you just take those top 5 to 8 kids, let them get 24 throws with a mixture of all the drops and stuff we do, and whoever scores the most points wins. And, we've had, the Dallas event's been huge. We normally have kids from 30, 40 different states at each event we have, from all over the country, and a lot of those guys, the number 1 quarterback in the 2026 class, Jared Curtis, just flipped from, Georgia and all those to Vandy, he came in 7th grade, so I mean, we've had some super talented kids. I get them mostly when they're young, between 3rd and 8th grade. I normally get some of the best kids in the country, and then I get to watch them as they go, and whenever every signing day, I go through all my lists. I've got a list of about 1,300 kids, and I go through and I say, hey, where'd he sign? And there's always somebody I'm like, wow, that kid grew, that kid became a guy.
Right.
So
wow.
But that's how it's been, man. And I just was blessed to just try to come up with my own little thing and grind it out long enough to, the key's just been able to stick with it, and be consistent. So I've just been able to stick with it long enough to finally just keep it rolling, man.
Make it work. Well, you've done that, man, and I'm super proud of you. Guys, Tony Colston, man, he's done some great things. Look him up on Facebook. There's a name, 7vs7 Gunslinger Challenge League. He has a lot of great things going on, and so do we here at Exigent Sports. Go ahead and make someone aware. Please share. Guys, we're here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. And until next Wednesday, 8 p.m., have a blessed night.